Our stream. It is Thursday. It is 3 o'clock in the Central Time. Central Time, ladies and gentlemen, a powerful time of the day. Sorry, I just felt like playing right out of the gate. I felt like playing right out of the damn gate. The power of this mighty guitar is filling my heart with savage lowiest. With savage lowiest. Ladies and gentlemen, why does this do this to me? Why does it do it? I just want to share it. I'm sharing it over here right now. I'm sharing it here. I'm sharing it there. Y'all better wear some clean underwear. You better wear clean underwear. No, I don't know what that means. Not important. Folks, how's it going out there? How's it going? I got nasty habits. That's right, a little bit of that Live With Me song by the Stones. Figured out kind of a fun little way to play it, but this Les Paul sounds so damn good. This is a new Wildwood Spec 58 from the Gibson Custom Shop. And it is magnificent. This one is in Kindred Burst. Take a look at this rascal. Ho-ho! This is a VOS. Beautiful. I kind of prefer the VOS. I've had gloss. I've had VOS. I like them all. Who am I fooling? I like all the different variations. I'm a little less worried about a VOS getting a nick on it, though, because it's got more of a matte finish to it. That being said, the shiny ones are nice too. This thing sounds like a savage warrior of the doggone night. Ladies and gentlemen, to give you these, someone asked what pickups are on these. These are the special Wildwood spec custom buckers that Gibson makes especially and only for the Wildwood spec Les Paul. This is a Wildwood spec 58 Les Paul standard. Someone's asking, was asking why I'm not using the lapel mic. We do that for the, we tried it for the live streams. That mic's a little too susceptible to picking up the guitar amp, and it just doesn't sound right. So we actually use that for when we do the videos for Wildwood that we've been doing special. Me and Paulie Brown, we've been doing some special videos that will be posted to the Wildwood site soon, overviews. We use the lapel mic, but for the live streams, the 58 works best. Anyways, we got these 2 Wildwood spec custom buckers on this bad boy. Big old chunky C-shaped neck on these 58s, and that's what I dig. I have one of these my own self. Not to rub it in, I'm just saying. I purchased one of these last year, as a matter of fact. Hide glue, 2-piece plain maple attached with hot hide glue. Non-weight relief mahogany, chunky C profile. It's got those narrow, tall frets on it, the historic narrow, tall frets. 22 of those rascals, and the aged plastic is all correct. It's got that true historic parts in plastic. And I love it so, diggity dog. And again, this particular finish is called Kindred Burst. Wildwood is doing a bunch of different ones of the 58s in the following colors. Golden Poppy Burst, that's a delicious tone hue. Green Lemon Fade, delicious. So many flavors. Kindred Burst, that's what this is, and Factory Burst, etc. So you get the aged plastics on the VOS versions, which is what this is. I like it. Smaller frets, chunky neck. What the hell? What the heck? This one in particular, I pasted one on the I posted one on the information for this video that's very similar to this one, because this one was not on the website. But this one, just FYI, is serial number 811233, Kindred Burst. It's 8.65 pounds. There you go. Can you dig it? Can you dig? Is the little gristle still happening? Yes, we're just waiting on the doggone transformers. The supply chain issues have been wreaking havoc with our Dutch friends, as well as everybody else for that matter, and they're having a hard time finding the transformers. But when they come in, they're going to be going out. Can you dig? Kindred Burst. I like this Kindred Burst. Kind of reminds me of the Dwayne Allman. That Dwayne Allman kind of tobacco-y bursty thing. Let's take a look at it again. See it? I like it. I like it. It's beautiful. Cleans up nice. I'll tell you what, I dig this guitar. It screams. Marius is asking, when does the Wildwood showroom open? That I do not know. I do not know. Because I'm out here in Wisconsin. But out there in Colorado, they do the things in their own time. Can you dig it? And I'm sure when everything is conducive and everything is ready to roll, they will open up accordingly. But they are still thriving. The online business is thriving. So you can check everything out there, and I'm sure if you called them up and you wanted to, anything's possible. So I would just give them a call. They're not having people in the building at this point in time, but they are still very much in business. Can you dig it? Denmark is on. Greetings, Denmark. I have some Danish blood coursing through my veins. Danish blood. Great Grandpa Skeel. He was a Viking. Nothing wrong with it. Do people actually buy guitars without trying them? If they didn't, none of us would be in business. People do it all the time. That's why I do the videos. People hear them. They say, that sounds good. That looks good. Yada, yada, yada. You get every detail you could possibly imagine about a guitar, and you make an educated decision on the spot. And so far, it's been working great. But I've purchased guitars without playing them. Matter of fact, several of the Wildwood guitars, I was like, this is the kind of guitar I'm into. You know what I like. Pick me out one. And they pick me out when I get it, and I go, great. Can you dig it? Wildwood has a great selection of both Fender and Gibson Custom Shop. They certainly do, Brock Terry. The Wildwood 10 versions of Fender Custom Shop instruments are the best there is, as are the Wildwood spec versions of the Gibson Custom Shop guitars. That's all I'm going to say. Patrick McManus is in the house. He's up in the dual metropolitan complex of Minneapolis and St. Paul. It is a beautiful guitar, isn't it? Kindred Burst, Patrick. Kindred Burst. When you're sitting around, you're like, what kind of burst is this? And everyone uniformly says, I love it. And they're like, it's a Kindred Burst. Everyone loves it. Patty D says, Wildwood 1057 Strat. Played by GK. That's me, doggone it. Purchased sight unseen. Best guitar I own. I like to hear that kind of talk. Jack wants to borrow my fingers. I'm afraid that's not possible because they are attached to me. And it's kind of a tobacco burst. It reminds me of the Dwayne Allman look. Well, we heard that bridge pickup in a variety of distortions. Here's the neck pickup. Yes, it is a good sounding Lester Palfus model. It's a good sounding Lester Palfus model. That's all I've got to say to you. And it is a Wildwood Spec 58 from the Gibson Custom Shop. Special Wildwood Spec custom buckers made by Gibson for only Wildwood in these guitars. Big old C-shaped, chunky C neck on these rascals. It's Kindred Burst is the color. That's how it goes. That's an old Fleetwood Mac, Peter Green era Fleetwood Mac song. That one's called Before the Beginning. I love that little intro. And then, of course, both pickups together. There we go. That was a little mutation of the old Cannonball rag. I like to mutate it up, but that middle position gives you that kind of funkification, you know? Dig it? A little bit of that meters action on that rascal. It gets funky in that middle position. It gets funky. Don't be afraid of it. Greg going to have a Barry signature. Boy, not that I know of, although I like that idea. I like the idea of taking the Gristle Master and making a Barry out of it. We shall see. Do I like John Schofield? Of course. I love John Schofield. I love that rascal. I used to know a few of those tunes. My brain is fried. My brain is fried. Is there a trick to pickup height and nailing the middle position? Lonnie, that's a good question. I don't mess around with it. I find that the way I have my guitars, the way they come, is conducive to me. I got that when I got my guitar from Wildwood, my 58, like this is. My 58 was set up just how I liked it, and I haven't touched a damn thing. It sounds great in the middle position. Sounds great in the middle position. Sounds great in the middle position. Greg, how does your mind work? Well, that's a good question, Derek, and I think that is a problem. Hey, Wayne, what's going on? Memphis Wayne is in the house. That's right, the podcast is back. The Ariel Posen episode today, folks, dropped, if you will, on Chewing the Gristle podcast, wherever casts are pod or pods are casts. What? It is a Wildwood and Fishman-sponsored podcast I do. I believe that's the 53rd edition. 53rd episode. We got John 5 lined up for next week. He'll be, that's already been done and recorded, and so that'll drop next Thursday. Every Thursday morning they come out. And I'm talking with Elliot Easton tomorrow. I got Tomo from, that great guitar player from Berkeley who taught John Mayer and all that kind of stuff. Craig posts unbelievable stuff online. I'm going to talk to Tomo very soon as well. I've got Robert Randolph in the works, all kinds of different folk. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Have I ever picked and grinned with John 5? No, we've hung out back in the Fender days, and he's always been very nice. John 5, savage. Yes, he is. That's a big old sounding guitar, doggone it. Wildwood Spec 58. I have one of these my own self, but this one, Kindred Burst, I'm telling you what, it's hitting the doggone spot. People are asking about what overdrive pedal. I'm not using an overdrive pedal today. It's just the amp. So that's what I had on for that. My Koch amplifier, the overdrive channel, overdrive boost, and the OTS on at the same time. Can you dig it? Hey, hey, mama, is it the way that you move? See what it sounds like a little. You know what's great too is the, I was messing around with a little bit of the woman tone. Neck pickup. Turn down the old tone control. That's a good woman tone, doggone it. This is a doggone Wildwood Spec 58 Lester Palfus model. Kindred Burst, they call it. Kindred Burst. Kindred Burst. Oh, let me be the first. It's a Steve Clark. You came just in time for me to say what it is. It is a Wildwood Spec 58 in the VOS format. Kindred Burst. It's got those Wildwood Spec custom buckers in it. Got the aged plastics and whatnot with the VOS ones and the other ones with the relic versions. They don't say relic though. They say Murphy aged. Murphy aged. Kindred Burst. Kindred Burst. Let me be the first. A Kindred Burst. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Oh, will you dig it? Can you dig it? Again, this is a good sounding guitar. It's out right out of the box. Gibson Custom Shop, Wildwood Spec 58, a Les Paul. Dickie Bates? You mean Dickie Betts? Or maybe you're messing with me. It could be. I don't mind it. But dooka-daka, ooka-dooka-dooka, ooka-dooka-dooka, ooka-dooka-dooka-doo. tell you that right now. I'm going to tell you right now. How did I play? I was actually playing open E tuning in standard tuning. You can mess around a little bit to make it sound ish. I could also just tune it to open E and do it as well. But you know, when you don't want to mess around with the tuning, with the guitar right out of the box, if you know what I'm saying. Again, I'm just going right into the old Koch amplifier, no pedals or nothing. And away you go. Any thoughts on the Les Paul Traditional? They're great too. You know, typically, you know, the custom shop stuff with any manufacturer, they get the better wood, they get the better parts. So that's not saying that you can't get a great guitar for less dough that's traditional or the regular standards and so on and so forth. This gold top standard I have back here is Magnifico, but the pieces of wood, the quality of the wood, the quality of the parts, and so on and so forth that is used in the custom shop stuff makes for a better guitar 99.9% of the time. I hate to say it. It's true. Russell asked, does the custom shop sell the pickups individually? They do not. I think it was talked about for a time, but Wildwood has not done that. So it's a proprietary Wildwood spec custom bucker that you can only get at Wildwood Guitars inside a Wildwood spec guitar. That's part of the allure. It's part of the allure. Rod Clark asks, theory me this, Batman. Why are the 6105 so popular now versus the old 6100 jumbos? Well, from what I understand, it was ciphered by those who cipher such things that really what you wanted was a taller fret, not necessarily a wider fret, because the wider fret, there's more contact point with the string, and that might make for intonation difficulties. So this is just what I remember hearing heard it through the grapevine. I decided that the taller fret versus the tall and fat fret was preferable. That's what I was told. Walter says, I own 5 Gibson guitars. They're all great. Les Pauls, 335s, 339. Nice. An L6. Nice. I have a few myself. I've got a couple 3 Les Pauls, maybe, and 335. Yes. And an old USA Epiphone acoustic. A Caballero, 60s. Yeah, I actually have it's on its way back to me. I bought one of those Joe Bonamassa Epiphone 3 pickup black customs. It has a big old neck on it. I had it out at Fishman, and they're doing a custom install of some Fluence pickups for me. The 3 gold Fluence pickups will be on its way back to me soon, my friends. Soon. Wouldn't wider and taller frets? No, I think the taller fret was is what was discussed. As I said, the wider ones, especially as they wear down, gives more contact point with the string, which could make for intonation difficulties. This is just what I've heard. Okay? I've got old-fashioned jumbo frets on my old custom shop guitar here. I've ordered this from the Fender Custom Shop back in 1991. I finally got the old neck on it. I don't know if anyone's ever heard my story about my old Strat. So I ordered this. A buddy of mine had a 56 Strat back in the day. And I love that guitar. It had a big old neck on it. And so I ordered a guitar from the custom shop. This is just when the custom shop was a one-off situation. And I ordered this guitar, ash body, big old flame maple neck, if you can see it. The flame, you could see the wood through the doggone dog. Gold hardware, the whole 9. I wanted the mother of toilet seat pickguard, and you know what? At first I loved it, and then I was like, and now I love it again. So there it is. But this original neck got stripped somehow, and so Fender made me another neck that was not so flamey. This one, as you can see, it's got some flame to it. And I've got a lot of my records were done with this guitar back in the day. I think it's on almost every record I've ever done in some way, shape, or form. But as of 2009, they made a different neck for me to put on it. And I liked that neck, but I always missed this one because this was the original neck that I had. And anyway, so I found a guy in town here, my buddy Phil, took care of it for me and actually repaired 3 different necks that I had that were all stripped. And so I just got it back today. So my old Strat is back and ready to it. It was a master built by Jay Black back in the day. My buddy Alex Perez from Fender made me a different neck, same shape and specs and everything. It just was like a hard maple, rock maple that didn't have any figuring on it because the thought was it'd be more stable. But I'm unstable, so I like flame and bird's eye and that kind of stuff. So I was glad to get this old neck back on there again. So the old beast is back at it. All right, I'll plug it in. You can plug it in here. You've heard lots of the Les Paul. Let's hear what this Strat sounds like. Let's see what we got. What do I mean by stripped? I mean I would bring him to this buddy of mine to get adjusted. The seasons would change, and he would set them up for me. The necks would get weird, and with his adjustments of the neck, he stripped the truss rod. And on 3 different guitars, I might add, which is strange, but now all 3 guitars have been resalvaged. So that's my old custom shop guitar. Back in the fold again with its original neck, which is a joy. Which is a joy to behold. So anyways, folks, that custom shop guitar, or the Gibson custom shop I was playing earlier, it was glorious. I have one of those my own self. Wildwood Spec 58. So, has the kiddies played it yet? Derek asks. It does feel like home. This neck is back to the... I have a lot of hours on this guitar, folks. A lot of hours. It's got the original American Standard bridge on it. Originally, it came with a Wilkinson bridge that I wanted because it would hold its place when you weren't using the whammy bar, you wouldn't. It had this special bridge on it that Wilkinson made for a while, but it was a little wonky in terms of maintenance. And I'm not Captain MacGyver when it comes to my guitars. I treat them like farm animals. I want to change my strings, and that's the end of it. So it was a little problematic. So they sent 2 bridges with it. So I ended up putting this American Standard bridge on it. Can you dig it? See it up close? Anyways, but that's what back in the day, the custom shop was a one-off place. So I ordered this guitar and waited. At that time, I mean, I know the waits are really crazy now, but back in the day, it was a good 9-month wait to get this guitar, and it was a one-off, and it's delicious. Can you dig it? Yeah. Sounds good. It does sound good. Mark Weber says, where'd you get it, and is there any significance to this t-shirt? This is a gift from my buddies in Greece that own the Jam Pedals company. This is their Delay Lama for their cool analog delay pedal that they call the Delay Lama. See what they did there? And yeah. I can't stop looking at the stupid gold top behind you. What's stupid about the gold top? My glorious signature model guitar? It's not stupid. It's not stupid to look at it either. Go ahead. Look at it. Look at it. Thank you, Don Nix. He says, congrats on your new Reverend signature. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And it is a delicious guitar. Oh, don't worry about it. I appreciate that, Russell. I sensed what you were saying was positive reinforcement. I sensed you were looking at that guitar as it was toying with your soul. Toying with your soul. Derek got a black version of the guitar. That's a good looking guitar as well. True Fire is coming soon. You know, you can get it actually through my website now. If you go to my website, if you buy it through my website, I actually get a little extra taste. So here, going forward, folks, if you want to get the True Fire stuff, which I highly recommend, there's a link from my website to the True Fire site where you purchase it, and then they see that it's coming from my site, and I get a little more of that sweet, sweet scalote. A little more of that sweet, sweet scalote. I bought a custom shop Strat. I had a ball bearing nut. Stupidest thing ever. It doesn't work, and it's thicker than a normal nut. I can't change it. Oh, FFS. I say that all the time, my friend Alvaro. I say those kinds of things. Although I can't speak to that particular guitar. You know, they do things differently depending on the guitar and all other kind of stuff. So it is a little scary, I will say, buying a guitar like we were talking earlier. We were talking earlier about playing a guitar sight unseen. It's a little different with the Wildwood experience because it's not sight unseen. You can hear the guitar. Usually, if I'm doing a video of it, you can hear it. They will offer a thing where if you call up Wildwood and say, hey, I'm interested in these 3 different guitars. I saw them online. I like this one, this one, this one. Could you check them out for me and see which one rings like, and describe what you want? I want a really light one. I want, one that is a brighter top end, faster attack, whatever descriptors you have. They will play the guitars and say, we think you'll like this one. And that's one of the many great things about Wildwood is that the salesmen know what the hell they're talking about when they're playing these guitars and are able to decipher your wants with what they have in their inventory. So you narrow it down, they send it out. But when you're ordering a custom shop guitar and you're ordering a one-off, that's a little scarier because, if you've got 5 of the same type of guitar to choose from, then you have 5 of the same guitar to choose from. But when they're just making the one, it's a little scary, other than the fact that if you're getting a master-built guitar, they won't send it unless it's ass-kicking. You know what I'm saying? If they're like, this is a dog, they ain't going to send it. So they get the best woods, they get the best parts, they get all that other kind of stuff. So the chances are overwhelming that the guitar is going to be stunning. Can you dig it? Cannon, will you dig it? You have signature pickups now. Having signature pickups is a stepping stone to your own company. Oh my God, no. There's no way I would want my own company of manufacturing. No, I appreciate that. But truth be told, I just like playing the guitar and creating new music and all that other kind of stuff. And I like opportunities like this, and I enjoy live streams. I do the Wildwood videos. I enjoy the True Fire thing. I enjoy doing clinics. I enjoy playing with the band, all that kind of stuff. But truth be told, I'd rather be held up in a corner someplace just playing. So the idea of owning my own company would probably drive me over the edge. Can you dig it? Are those flat pull pieces? On this particular guitar, Joseph, these have actually my Fishman Fluence pickups on here. When I originally purchased this guitar, it had Texas Special pickups on it. And when I first got this guitar, brand new ash, big old maple neck, it was so bright. Especially it was bright in comparison to some of the other guitars I'd been playing. And I was a neophyte when it really came back then, as far as like really knowing, well, this wood does this and this wood does that. I had an idea of what I wanted because the guitar I had in mind that my buddy owned, that I would play on occasion, was a 56 Strat with a ash body and a maple neck. And there were, at that time, I was working at a music store in Wisconsin here, and they had a bunch of different custom shop guitars. So I liked the idea of ash and maple, but the guitars I was actually gigging around with was like alder and rosewood. And then I had another one that was like, had an ebony fingerboard and something else. So when I got this guitar, it was an eye opener. It was really, really bright. And I acclimated to it, but I found that I didn't like the noise of the single coil, especially in a lot of the clubs. I was a clubbing warrior at that point in time. And in a lot of clubs we were playing at, there was no, I mean, you could escape to the 2 and 4 position on the toggle switch. But if you were in the single pickup modes, man, it was like, meh. So I actually at that time put in lace sensor pickups, which was Fender's only option at that point for something that was a little less noisy. And, a lot of people gave grief to the lace sensors. But I'm going to tell you, in this guitar, which was already intrinsically very, very bright, those pickups were just what the doctor ordered. It tamed this beast. I also like the lace sensors on the early Clapton models. For some reason, I think those pickups work in a particular way with that preamp that the other ones are just a little different from the modern ones. Anyway, so I had lace sensors on this beast. And then, remember, there was a period of time when Evans pickups were the ones. Evans are the best. And then I got the Evans pickups for a hot minute. I don't think I had them in this guitar. I had them in another Strat of mine. And I quickly got them out of there. And then I ended up putting regular single coils back in again, Fat 50s pickups I had in here. And then there was a buddy of mine on the East Coast, Mike McConaughey, who made these bell tone pickups. And I had those, and those sounded fantastic as single coils. But again, I had the same problems with the single coil pickups because it was, noisy and so on and so forth. Anyway, fast forward to the fact I started working with Fishman again, or not again, but I started working with Fishman on developing those pickups that are both multi-voiced and noise-free, and I popped them in this bad boy, and it lives again. Darth Slater says, my Fishman Open Core Classics are the best pickups on the planet. Well, they certainly don't suck, my friend. I'm going to tell you that right now. I have those on a Wildwood Spec 57 Les Paul that I have. Although I've kept my 58 with the custom buckers in it, just as a different flavor. I liked having guitars with different flavors on them for recording and whatnot, but when I gig, I use my Fishmans. But that's because I know everything that it'll do and the way it interfaces with the other guitars and the amps and all that kind of stuff, because they sound good. Michael Burrell says, I'm getting some Fishman single widths installed on my Strat right now. Well, you're going to enjoy that, my friend. The Lamb says, those Ray Gerald double blade pickups you had in the Black Card sounded tremendous. Yeah, those were good sounding pickups. And they did a coil tap that was also noise-free, which was very, very cool. But the back pickup stopped working. And that was a drag. And my buddy opened up and he's like, man, this thing looks like a nuclear weapon in here. There's all the wires and so on and so forth. He couldn't figure out how to fix it, so I would have to get a hold of Ray Gerald and have him replace him, or get it replaced or get it fixed. So I ended up just putting my Fishman Fluence pickups in that old Blackguard, which is not really an old. It was just like a 2008 American Deluxe Ash Telecaster. Can you dig it? Does that make sense? All these things make sense. My single coils cause hum because they don't know the words. I like what you did there, Todd. I like what you did there. David Gilmore thinks that single coils showcase the personality of the player. Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, or single coil sounding pickups that are still get rid of the noise. But I know what he's saying. The more transparent tones, they have a tendency to be more dynamically interesting. But, you can get the same thing out of a good, Gibson. I think he's just talking about high gain humbucker sounds. There's not a whole lot of variance there. I mean, there can be depending on the player, but overall. Royce says, I'm not sure I would take a fourth guitar to your guy. Yeah, that's a little interesting. So I have, that guy doesn't work on guitars anymore. And he's a great guitar player and he does good work. It just was odd that 3 of my guitars would go weird. And when I went to this new place, I'm like, what's the deal? Why would 3 of these guitars go bad? And he put it as the way that they made those necks in that era, you needed a special tool, and everyone used this other tool that was not quite the right size and would screw up the neck. So he goes, what did he say? It was 40% Fender's fault and 60% my guy's fault. Although I'm not naming names, I'm not throwing shame for whatever. We don't know exactly what happened, but I do have 3 guitars that had the same problem. So there we go. I came close to buying a Gristlemaster, but ended up with a Max Telly because it had 51 no-caster pickups and a roasted neck. Only 150 made, my first Telly, and I love it. Well, I'm glad you enjoy that. I'm glad you're enjoying that guitar. Great interview with Ariel. Well, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. Yeah, the new podcast is up and running again. Season 3 has begun. So, folks, again, to reiterate, you can go check out my podcast, Chewing the Gristle, with yours truly, and the latest one with Ariel Posen. If you're not hip to Ariel Posen, you need to check out all of his records. Latest one is fantastic. They're all great. Can you dig it? All right, folks. Well, listen, thanks so much for tuning in today. It was a fun day, and we will see you on the morrow. Tomorrow for the Fishman live stream at 4 p.m. Central, if that's my thank you to Wildwood, as always. And don't be afraid to check out the website over there. And I do have a link above or below, depending on where you're watching. There you have it. Don't be afraid to, everyone always says that you should like, share, and subscribe. What does that mean? Well, whatever it means, if you feel like doing it, do it. And what is it? Follow and review and like the podcast. Is that what you're supposed to do? I guess so. There you have it, folks. All right.